So, I've made a 3-hour dissection of War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron. Check it out if you haven't. However, I gotta correct something. I said in that video that I didn't play those games until I was an adult, but I may have omitted one teensy little thing. I did play a Cybertron game when I was younger. Well, not a game, more like an adventure.
Hey! Stop that!
Okay, but why is it called Cybertron Adventures? It makes it sound like a jolly good time when it's mainly... Cybertron Adventures was developed by Next Level Games. They were behind hit classics like Captain America Winter Soldier, Spider-Man Friend or Foe, and most importantly, Microsoft Solitaire Collection. They also did some obscure niche games called Mario Strikers and Luigi's Mansion 3. I have never played those games. Subscribe for more unqualified opinions like this. My relationship status with Cybertron Adventures is complicated, but on an upward swing, because all you did was shoot and drive. You didn't get to choose when to transform, you didn't get to move around, it was an on-rails shooter. It was also part of a trend of the Wii titles removing more and more of your abilities. Transformers 1, you can do anything. TF2, okay, you can transform at certain moments, but you had full control of your robot mode most of the time. Cybertron Adventures, you shoot and move around your vehicle, as I just said, and then comes Transformers 3, the last game on the Wii that just left you as a vehicle. It was basically a Hot Wheels game. Thankfully, there was Transformers Prime, but that's an anomaly. But while the Wii got absolute stinkers, absolute mother-loving masterpieces were being produced on every other version of these games. And that discrepancy made me grade this game on a harsher curve. But now, that hunger has been satisfied, it has been quenched, and I return to Cybertron Adventures with more of an open mind. It was a lot better than I gave it credit for. After playing Transformers 1, I realized how hard it is to just port over a third-person shooter to the Wii. So Next Level actually optimized the Wii's gameplay style so it could be more fun with the remote and nunchuck.
No one's gonna touch this while we guard it!
Yeah, Lord Megatron can count on us.
You know, it probably isn't safe standing so close to these things.
No, you got it wrong. There's only one way to protect Dark Energon.
How?
Get as close as you can, and stand right next to it.
How did I get stuck on cube guard duty with you two morons?
You're armed with 4 weapons, a Gatling gun, a rocket launcher, a sniper rifle, and a blaster or cannon. When you cover, you regain your health, so it sounds like it should be a cakewalk, right? Wrong. The difficulty is increased with relentless enemies and timed sections, so it's definitely a challenge. And on top of that, defending missions where there's no timer, but there is a timer because that's your partner's lifespan, so death is the ultimate countdown. But my point is that there's definitely a challenge here. And above all that, the game looks good. Cybertron Adventures has polish. Like, have you seen the cutscenes for the Revenge of the Fallen game? Now, these cutscenes are actually well animated. So, the story. Decepticon Station is alive and shooting down Iacon. The Autobots are trying to stop Megatron, while the Decepticons are laying siege to Iacon. Both campaigns here happen simultaneously.
I shall not suffer thieves!
Cybertron Adventures feels like it slots into the High Moon Stories Autobot campaign at various points, and then overlaps at others, with the Decepticon fight, and mainly after Chapter 8 is where I would put a lot of the events here. Look, I need it written in stone that while Decepticon is fighting Optimus, he's also throwing a tantrum in front of Megatron over whether or not Megatron should lobotomize him. I think the biggest value of the story is that it focuses on the other characters aside from Prime and Megatron, giving a lot more spotlight to characters like Skywarp, Thundercracker, Air Raid, Barricade, Soundwave, and Sideswipe. Because you get to play as a single character in each mission, the levels and story are designed to feel much tighter and more succinct. I'm not gonna go through every mission because for the most part it's the same thing, there's not a lot here, so I'll go through the highlights. On the Autobot side, you get more time with the Autobots that we've come to know and love. Ironhide and Bumblebee spend a lot of time together in a buddy cop fashion. The old retiree and the young rookie hacking into the Decepticons' data core. Be prepared to hear data core a lot.
Data core. Data core.
Data core.
Dark Energon is still expanding from the planet's core. We must get these supplies to the evacuation site. Bumblebee, scout ahead of the convoy.
It'd be my pleasure, sir.
We see Prime entrust B with an important mission, and B feels honored by Optimus, which, if I count this as canon, adds more to B's sacrifice and fall.
Solid work, Bumblebee. We wouldn't have made it without you.
And finally, Optimus leading the evacuation and resource efforts just adds to why this is probably one of my favorite depictions of the character yet. He feels powerful and strong, and mighty, while feeling personable, a paragon without being deified.
I think I can speak for all of us when I say thank you. We would have been destroyed if you hadn't pulled us through this.
I just did what needed to be done, Ironhide. The job's far from over.
What I find more interesting to discuss is the Decepticon campaign. Skywarp and Thundercracker get more focus as the two Seekers in charge of leading the raid on Iacon, and you get more of a sense that the Seekers are a closely knit group. And I absolutely love when Thundercracker goes, "It's Thundercracking time," and Thunder cracks all over the Autobots. And no, I'm not kidding, that actually happens. Skywarp's mission is probably the hardest of them all. The Autobots invested way too much in home security. Do they really need barrages of missiles flying into your face? And after setting that off, an escape timer goes active while the Autobots are starting to come for your head. Imagine thinking it's worth it all to sacrifice yourself to stop Skywarp of all people.
You know what's not cool? That wasn't cool!
Starscream goes through the most character development. He feels undervalued by Megatron, as he's tasked with menial and boring work, instead of opportunities to flex his glorious military strategy. And to be fair, Megatron just kinda nags and micromanages Starscream the entire time. I don't know, I'd be peeved by his nitpicking behavior at some point.
The beam isn't even focused properly! Clearly, it was a mistake to entrust this kind of task to someone with your limited processing power. Stand back while I make the proper adjustments.
And so does Starscream. He ends up trying to tackle Megatron and it's not out of some cunning plot to take over as leader. It's just like, would you please shut the hell up? Instead of killing him, Megatron adds salt to the wound and sends him to the front lines of the Iacon assault.
The leading edge of that raid will almost certainly be destroyed.
Then I would suggest you take what time remains to you and ponder what it means to betray me.
So I'm gonna count select events as canon. So I like to think that this is how we see Starscream developing that seething hatred for Megatron. Barricade gets little more to do as Soundwave's protege, but honestly he's just there. Like, we get all the big heavy hitter season 1 cast, and then there's you. Who the hell are you? Also, I've always felt that Megatron sang any Autobot's name other than Optimus.
Megatron, your tyranny ends here. You are mistaken, Ratchet, and it is a fatal error.
It sends a chill down my spine when he doesn't refer to them as Autobot. He only does it a few times, but that's what kinda makes it stand out. He's not much different from his High Moon counterparts. He just gets some good lines.
I see the truth, Megatron. I see your madness and the evil you have done. Then see the truth of this! Good and evil fade away. History shall judge me victorious.
The gameplay does leave a lot to be desired, but the writing is actually pretty strong.
Barricade, meet me at that location.
Yes, sir. Moving as fast as I can.
Make it faster.
Oh yeah, and I should mention there's all these boss battles, which is just you versus an enemy with more health and a more recognizable chassis. You don't even get a big final boss battle on the Decepticon side, you're just trying to escape and defeat all the enemies before the countdown goes off. On the Autobot side though, you get the behemoth of boss battles, Decepticon. This part I'm convinced only an Olympic athlete could comfortably complete. It's a long section where a lot of the Decepticon attacks are one-shot kills, and you're being timed throughout the entire battle. Like start to finish you got 3 minutes. And that includes cutscenes. It is possible to get through it, and once you're done, you never want to play this game again.
Decepticon, your extinction is long overdue. For Cybertron!
But yeah, that's all I gotta say about Cybertron Adventures. At the time, I tolerated it, and now I've learned to tolerate it a bit more enthusiastically.